Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to get a salon quality manicure from home. If you're dying to get your nails done but don't want to go to a salon and spend your money for a gel manicure, then just keep watching. So today I'm going to be showing you some tips and tricks on how to achieve a better manicure from home, even if you think you suck at painting your nails. Let's be honest, I cannot paint my own nails with traditional paint. It looks like a toddler did them. The paint looks sloppy, it's lumpy, it's all over my cuticles, it's a mess. If this sounds like you, don't worry, we can get through it together. I'm going to show you everything you need today. When it comes to gel, it's a lot easier to work with, and plus you're curing it so it doesn't stay wet and then get smudged later on. Without further ado, here's how I paint my nails at home using gel polish. First, let's start with what we'll need. Let me start by saying you do not need all of these products. Yes, I will link them down below, but you do not need all of these products. The main things that you will need that you probably don't already have are a gel lamp, base coat, gel top coat, and a gel color. The other things you'll need are acetone and alcohol, but you probably already have those in your bathroom somewhere. First up is this gel lamp. I got this off Amazon. Next up are the gel base and top coats. Gel color, I just like white. 2 washcloths, 1 wet, 1 dry. A beauty fridge set to the warm setting. You do not need this by any means. This is just great if you have it. A bowl for water. Nail clippers if you plan on cutting your nails. You'll need some cuticle nippers, a nail file and nail buffer, this nail tool. I found these fun nail clips on Amazon. They replace having to use tin foil and a cotton ball. You'll want a full paper towel and then some paper towels cut up into small squares. Some cotton balls, acetone, which I like to keep in this small pump top bottle, and some isopropyl alcohol. And lastly, coconut oil, cuticle oil, and lotion. Okay, so first we're gonna prep our towel. I'm just gonna turn the hot water on and wet the towel. Okay, so I have my warm, wet towel. I'm just gonna fold it in half, and then I'm just going to roll it from the bottom. Roll it into a little burrito. So I just took my warm towel and stuck it into my little beauty fridge on the warm setting. And as I said before, you do not need a beauty fridge for this. You can get the same effect by just putting a wet towel in the microwave for 30 seconds. Okay, so we're just gonna lay down a nice dry towel and we're gonna start our removal. So we're just gonna take off anything that's on our nails right now. I have gel right now, so I'm just gonna use some acetone, some cotton balls, and these little nail clips to secure it. If you have nothing on your nails, you can just skip this. So this is just 100% acetone. I've just put it in this little pump top bottle. This is just from the dollar store. And I'm just gonna rip my cotton ball into smaller pieces. Now I'm just gonna take a coarse nail file and I'm just going to file the top of my nail until the shine from the top coat is gone. I'm just gonna repeat this on the rest of my nails. And you wanna make sure you're getting around the edges of the nail too. Make sure there's just the least amount of shininess possible. Okay, now that I've filed the tops of all of them, I'm gonna start with the acetone and cotton balls. So I'm just gonna pump this on there. Just place it on my nail and secure it with one of these nail clips, just like that. All right, I'm gonna do the rest of them. Now I'm gonna switch and do half of the other hand, only because it's hard to do when these 2 fingers have clips on them. So I'm just gonna do the other 3 real quick. And I also just want to mention to be very careful when you're working with acetone. Make sure you have a towel down. This will eat through the finish of countertops, a desk. I one time spilled it all over my mom's wooden kitchen table. So if you do spill it, just make sure you wave it up as soon as possible. The last one's always the hardest. In there, make sure it's on. So now I'm just going to hang out for the next 20 minutes to 25 minutes and then we can check them. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes. So I'm just going to take the first one we put on and I'm just going to check and see if the gel has come off yet. It's come off mostly, but you see like not all of it has come off, so I'm just going to try to put that one back on. I'm just gonna leave them for 5 more minutes. Okay, so it's been 25 minutes. We're gonna check that first nail again. Let's just see. And it's okay if you don't get every last little bit off, just as long as you get most of it. Just being very careful with the tool not to cut yourself. It's actually very sharp. It doesn't seem it, but it is. And if you don't have one of these tools, you can always use one of those little wooden ones that usually come with a nail kit. But I just find this one is a really good investment. It's not that expensive at all, and it just makes everything a lot easier. Now I finally got almost all of the paint off. It's okay if there's just like a little bit. You can always just do that with the filing. Okay, so now we have our bowl of warm water and we're just going to put our hands in it and just let them soak for around 2 minutes. I'm just gonna kind of dry them just a little bit. So now we're gonna take our oil. This is just coconut oil. I'm just gonna spray it on this little nail brush. So you just want to paint that on each finger. And you want to do it just on one hand first. And just be careful not to get oil all over your hand because you don't want it slippery when you're using the cuticle tool. So first we're going to take our nail tool and we're just going to push back our cuticle. We're just going to take it and push it back, just very gently. If you find your cuticle is a little hard to push back, you can just take some of that warm water and put it on there. And now we're going to just trim back that cuticle that we just pushed. Very gently, just go around. And just clip any of that excess skin. And make sure to get any skin around the nail as well that you want to remove. Okay, so now that we trimmed our cuticles, let's just wipe off that oil. Just because now you're gonna be holding the nippers in this hand and you don't want your hand to be slippery. So for our other hand, we just wanna put that back in the warm water just for about 30 seconds or so. So now let's just wipe that oil off. Okay, so now we're going to move on to prepping our nails. That consists of filing and buffing. First, I'm just going to file my nails to the shape that I like. They're basically there. It's more of a pointed almond shape, and I'm just going to file down the sides just real quick just to make sure everything is looking good. And always check underneath the nail too. Sometimes it's a little easier to see the shape from underneath. Okay, once you're happy with your shape, we can start buffing. So you just want to take a small buffer and you want to use the more coarse side. We're just going to buff on the top of the nail. And then you can do a little bit on the edge as well. Okay, once you've buffed your nails, you can see that there's still a little bit of gel that is stuck on there. You can take the coarse side of the nail file, just go over those. And you can see that looks much better. Okay, now that we have shaped and buffed, let's go wash our hands. Okay, so we're just gonna wash our hands with some warm water. Don't need to use any soap. And to dry our hands, we're just gonna get our warm towel out of the beauty fridge. If you're just using the microwave, you can go ahead and microwave your wet towel. Okay, now you can just put your warm towel over your hands and just let them sit for a minute. Okay, you can put your warm towel aside. We don't need it anymore. Now let's just check out our nail. They look pretty good. We're going to give them one last file and buff on top. We're gonna give them one final buff, and this is gonna help the gel nail polish stick to the nail and last longer. So now we're just gonna take a small little piece of paper towel. I just cut these into squares. And we're gonna take some more acetone and we're just gonna wipe the nail. This helps just get off any last oils or hair or residue off our nails. Once you're ready to start painting, you just want to switch out this towel for a paper towel instead. And what's best for this is just a plain disposable paper towel. And this will keep any hairs or fibers from getting into your nail polish. And then I like to paint on top of this, anything that's like a hard surface to paint on top of. I find it's just a little easier to maneuver and paint the nail completely. We also have our base coat, our top coat, and the gel color of choice. This one is just white. And we also have our lamp sitting right here. A few items I like to have on standby are just a pair of pointy tweezers just in case anything gets stuck in the gel. I also like to have the buffer handy just in case you find any harsh edges that you want to buff out. Obviously some acetone, some little paper towels, and a file as well. We're gonna start with our base coat. And when putting on the base coat, you wanna make sure you get almost all of the nail, but without getting it on your cuticle. And I'm just taking the brush and going all the way up to the end of the nail. And then I'm gonna come down one side and then down the other side and just smooth it out. And the great thing about gel is you don't really have to rush. You know, you can take your time and you can check it out and make sure you got the entire nail. And if you do get any polish on the side of your nail, you can just take your fingernail and just go right under it and then wipe it off on the paper towel. Okay, so again, I'm just gonna go right up to the top. Down one side, down the other side, and smooth it out. And I just like to check in the light and make sure I'm covering the whole nail. And sometimes what I like to do is push down and roll my nail to one side, and it kind of gives you a more clear point so you're not painting it onto your finger. And for the base coat, I'm just going to cure it for 1 minute. And you want to make sure that you're moving your bottle of gel away from the light. Okay, 60 seconds is up and we're going to move on to the other hand. And what's great about this is it's not wet. If you hit it, it's not gonna leave a big smudge and then dry that way. Gel's like a little more forgiving than regular paint, and that's why I think it's the best for at home. Even though I'm using my left hand, I find that this is much easier with the gel. I feel like I would not be able to do this with regular paint. I did see a little hair in there, so I'm just gonna take those super sharp tweezers. If you mess up the paint a little bit, we can fix that, and we can go back in and just paint that one side of the nail and smooth it out. And if you give it a sec, it kind of like levels itself out. And cure this for 60 seconds as well. And now we're gonna move on to the actual color. And let's grab our color, give it a little roll just to make sure it's well mixed. One thing I just wanted to point out real quick was the shape of these brushes. This one's from the base and the top coat has the same type of brush. See how it's more rounded? That's actually really great. I didn't realize how much I would like that, but then see how this one's much more blunt, like more square. So this just makes it a little harder. So in the future, I will be trying to find ones that have more of a rounded brush versus the straight edge. Again, I'm gonna start from the middle and go down one side, go down the other, and then go down the middle and smooth it. And there's one layer, and it will obviously look better with more layers. Okay, again, I see there's a little hair in the polish. I just take my really sharp tweezers and just grab it out of there. Okay, and we're gonna cure these for 1 minute. Onto our other hand. Now for the other hand, we're starting coat 2, and we're gonna do a total of 3 coats of color. Okay, cure for 60 seconds. Onto the other hand. If you get any hair in your nail or on the brush, you can just take your paper towel and wipe it off. Okay, and the third coat. And cure for 60 seconds again. So now we're going to do the top coat. And again, we're back to that rounded tip brush, so it's gonna make applying the top coat a lot easier. So we're gonna do the same thing we've been doing. Then you can do the edges too. Okay, put that aside and cure this for 120 seconds, so 2 rounds of 60. Okay, and 60 more. And after curing for 120 seconds, we're now gonna go in with our alcohol on just a little paper towel square. Okay, and we're just going to wipe our nails, and this will get rid of that sticky feeling. And cure this for another 30 seconds. Okay, and after the 30 seconds, just feel them and make sure they're not sticky anywhere. And they're not, so we're good to go to the other hand. Here's that top coat again. And cure for 120 seconds. Okay, now we're done with curing. We're just going to do the other hand with alcohol. And just make sure there's no sticky feeling. And we're good. Okay, now we can move on to cuticle oil. So I'm just using this one by Olive and June. I love that it's a little click up pen. And if you don't have a cuticle oil, you can use coconut oil or even lotion if you'd like. Okay, I'm gonna rub that in. And now I'm going to finish off with some lotion. This is just the Nivea one. And here's the final product. And this would be the part where your nail tech would ask you to pay X amount of dollars. And obviously we can't forget about the tip as well. So I think with all that, I'm saving myself about $120 a month for 2 gel manicures. So yeah, this is a great option that doesn't require too much money up front. The main things are the polishes and the lamp, of course. So yeah, obviously I do want to support nail techs and all that, but for right now, working from home, this is a great option for me, and I'm saving myself some money. And also, this is a great option if you have an event or a vacation last minute and you don't have time to get to the salon. This is perfect. I honestly love how it came out. So there you have it. There's my salon quality manicure at home. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope maybe you're even thinking about getting a lamp and some colors for yourself to try at home. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.